which are the size of a regular credit card. They have embedded specialty chips. Smart cards are used as identity cards, driving licenses, in the healthcare industry for storage of patient history, in mobile communications as an identification device, and in many other areas. Specialty processors serve a variety of purposes. Some cars have as many as 70 specialty processors to control nearly everything, right from fuel efficiency to satellite entertainment and tracking systems. Radio frequency identification, RFID, is an automatic identification method which uses devices called RFID tags. RFID tags are specialty chips which are embedded into different goods to enable easy identification and tracking. Retailers and RFID tags to packaging to keep track of inventory and prevent shoplifting. Some kindergarten schools issue RFID bracelets to the kids or fit their clothes and bags with RFID tags to prevent them from going astray. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned about the microprocessor and its components, microprocessor chips, specialty processors. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand expansion slots and cards, plug-and-play technology, bus lines, boards, cables, and power supply. Most microcomputers allow users to enhance the capability of the system by providing expansion slots on the system board. Expansion cards may be inserted into these slots. An expansion card is a circuit board that lets you add a new feature to your computer. These cards have ports which allow cables to be connected to devices outside the system unit. There are various types of expansion cards. Let us have a look at some of the commonly used ones. Graphic cards connect the system board to the monitor. They convert the internal electronic signals to video signals so that the images can be displayed on the monitor. Sound cards enable a computer to play and record high-quality sound. They accept audio input from a microphone and convert it into form that can be processed by the computer. They convert internal electronic signals to audio signals so that they can be heard from external speakers. Modem cards enable distant computers to exchange information. They convert electronic signals from within the system unit into electronic signals that can travel over telephone lines and other types of connections. Network interface cards, NIC, also known as network adapter cards, can be used to form a communication network where many computers are connected. The network adapter card connects the system unit to a cable that connects to a network. This enables users to share data, programs, and hardware. Plug and play. Plug and play is is a set of hardware and software standards developed by Intel, Microsoft and others to simplify the process of adding hardware to PCs. It allows the addition of a new device without requiring reconfiguration or manual installation of device drivers. As the computer starts up, it searches for plug-and-play devices and automatically configures the devices and the computer system. Unfortunately, not all computer systems and expansion cards have this capability. PC cards are credit card-sized expansion cards which are used in notebook and handheld computers. They have been specially developed to meet the size constraints of these computers. They can be easily inserted and removed. Bus lines. A bus line is a pathway for the transfer of data between the different parts of the CPU and the other components on the system board. It is also known simply as a bus. A bus is like a multi-lane highway that moves bits representing data and instructions from one location to another. The number of bits that can travel simultaneously down a bus is known as the bus width. A bus line with more bus width can move data and instructions faster. Thus, the power of a computer depends greatly on bus design. Many devices, such as expansion boards, work with only a specific type of bus. Every computer system has two basic categories of buses. System buses connect the CPU to the memory on the system board. Expansion buses connect the CPU to other components on the system board, including expansion slots. The principal types of expansion buses are ISA, PCI, AGP, USB, and Firewire buses. Each one will be described shortly. Computer systems have a combination of different types of expansion buses. Industry Standard Architecture ISA bus was developed for the first IBM personal computer. Originally, it had an 8-bit bus width, which was later expanded to 16 bits. The Peripheral Component Interconnect PCI bus is a high-speed 32-bit or 64-bit bus that was originally developed to meet the video demands of graphical user interfaces. The Accelerated Graphics Board AGP bus is over twice as fast as the PCI bus. It is widely used for graphics and 3D animations and is replacing the PCI bus for the transfer of video data. The Universal Serial Bus USB combines with a PCI bus on the system board to support external devices without using expansion cards or slots. USB was designed to allow many peripherals to be connected using a single standardized interface socket. USB also improves the plug-and-play capabilities by allowing devices to be connected and disconnected without rebooting the computer or turning off the device. Firewire buses are very high-speed buses similar to USB buses. Both USB and Firewire buses are used for special applications that provide support for digital camcorders and video editing software. Ports. A port is a socket for external devices to connect to the system unit. Some ports connect directly to the system board, while others connect to cards inserted into slots on the system board. Standard ports. Some ports are standard features of most computer systems. Ports like the mouse, keyboard, and video ports are used to connect specific devices. Other standard ports like the following ones may be used for different devices. Serial ports may be used for different purposes, such as to connect a mouse, keyboard, modem, or other devices. Serial ports send data one bit at a time and are good for sending information over a long distance. Parallel ports are used to connect external devices that need to transfer a lot of data over a short distance. These ports typically send 8 bits of data simultaneously across 8 parallel wires. Parallel ports are mainly used to connect printers to the system unit. Universal Serial Bus USB ports are faster than serial and parallel ports, and a single port can be used to connect several devices to the system unit. Firewire ports are fast ports and are used to connect specialized Firewire devices such as camcorders. Recent developments in buses and ports include PCI Express, PCIe, and Serial ATA, SATA. PCI Express buses and slots are 30 times faster than PCI and are expected to replace both PCI and AGP. Serial ATA, SATA buses and ports are used to connect magnetic and optical disk drives to the system board for greater speed. Specialized ports. In addition to standard ports, there are various specialty ports such as the following ones. Musical Instrument Digital Interface. MIDI ports are a special type of serial port used to connect musical instruments like an electronic keyboard to a sound card. The sound card converts the music to digital instructions which can be saved to a file or processed to reproduce the music. Infrared Data Association (IRDA) ports provide a wireless means of data transfer between devices instead of cables. The IRDA ports of the devices are directly aligned and data is transmitted through infrared light rays. One of the areas of use is to transfer data from handheld or notebook computers to a desktop computer. Cables. Cables are used to connect external devices to the system unit through the ports. One end of the cable is attached to the device and the other end has a connector that is plugged into a matching connector on the board. Power supply. Computers require a steady low voltage direct current DC to run their electronic components and to represent data and instructions. DC power can be provided by converting alternating current AC from standard wall outlets or from batteries. Desktop computers have a power supply unit located within the system unit. This unit plugs into standard wall outlet and converts AC to DC and provides the power to drive all the system unit components. Notebook computers use AC adapters that are located outside the system unit. These adapters plug into standard wall outlet and convert AC to DC. They also recharge batteries. Notebook computers can be operated either using an AC adapter plugged into wall outlet or using battery power. Handheld computers also use AC adapters. However, they operate only using battery power. The AC adapter is used to recharge the batteries. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned expansion slots and cards, plug and play technology, bus lines, boards, cables and power supply. Objectives. At the end of this lab, you will be able to start up your computer, log into your computer system, and understand graphical user interfaces. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to start up your computer, understand the startup process, when you press your computer's power button to start up, the PC needs to get oriented. The computer reads several files and performs a series of tests to make sure all its hardware components are working properly. We shall see the startup procedure using the operating system Windows Vista. The microprocessor sends a command to the computer's read-only memory ROM chips to run the computer's basic input and output system, that is BIOS, boot program. The boot program connects the hard drive, loads the operating system's core system files through the microprocessor and loads the device driver software needed to allow communication between the operating system and the computer's hardware. The operating system then contacts the hard drive and loads the graphics, files and font files needed to properly display the system's desktop. After the desktop environment has been created, Windows Vista opens the startup folder. Any programs that may have been placed in the folder are immediately accessed from the hard drive and loaded through the microprocessor into the RAM. Windows Vista is then ready for use. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned to start up your computer, about the startup process. Hi, in this assessment frame, arrange the statements related to the startup process of the computer in sequence. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to log into your computer system, understand password creation, after the booting process is completed, a user is required to log in to the computer system. Logging in is the process to gain access to a computer, network, bulletin board, or other services that requires authorization. Every user has his own login ID and password. The PC identifies the user with the help of the given password and accordingly gives privileges to the user. Password is a set of characters used to get access to a computer, network resource or data. Passwords help to make sure that computers or data are accessible only to those who have been granted the right to view or access them. It is your responsibility to keep your password secret. Points you should consider when creating your password. Create one that you can easily remember. Passwords are case sensitive, so use a mixture of numbers, special characters, and upper and lowercase letters to make your password more difficult to guess. Do not use anything that people might associate with you, such as your name backwards, your initials, your friend's name, your pet's name, birthdays, anniversaries, or your login ID. Precautions to be taken. Never write your password down where it can be accessible to others. Never let anyone watch you type it on a computer. Never allow anyone else to use your account by telling them what your password is. reached the end of the assignment. You have learned to log in to your computer system, about password creation. Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the correct answers in the blanks provided. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand what is meant by graphical user interface, the benefits of a graphical user interface. A graphical user interface, or GUI, is a program interface that takes advantage of the computer's graphics capabilities to make the program easier to use. Well-designed graphical user interfaces can free the user from learning complex command languages. It is a convenient alternative to text-based interfaces between the operator and the computer. A GUI uses pictorial representations, icons and menus with a pointing device concept to execute commands and other tasks, rather than requiring the user to type commands. The Macintosh operating system and Microsoft Windows are examples of operating systems that use a GUI.
Just now I said, yes.
In GUIs such as Windows, desktop is the term used to describe the main screen where icons, folders and documents appear. The desktop is an area on your computer screen on which icons for your hard drive, files, disks and applications appear. An icon is a symbol, picture or graphic on your computer screen that represents a particular operation or software application. Double-clicking on the icon activates it.
Okay. No. This I sent to you to review.
The first graphical user interface was designed by Xerox Corporation, Palo Alto Research Center in the 1970s. But it was not until the 1980s and the emergence of the Apple Macintosh that graphical user interfaces became popular. One reason for their slow acceptance was the fact that they require considerable CPU power and a high-quality monitor, which, until recently, were very expensive.
H.
In addition to their visual components, graphical user interfaces also make it easier to move data from one application to another. A true GUI includes standard formats for representing text and graphics. Because the formats are well defined, different programs that run under a common GUI can share data. This makes it possible, for example, to copy a graph created by a spreadsheet program into a document created by a word processor. graphical user interface. About the benefits of a graphical user interface. Hi, in this assessment frame, match the columns. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this lab, you will be able to use the mouse, know the types of mice, know about other pointing devices. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand what is meant by a mouse, the different mouse pointers. A pointing device is one with which you can control the movement of the pointer to select items on a screen. Pointing devices provide a comfortable interface with the system unit by accepting pointing gestures and converting them into machine-readable input. Examples of pointing devices include the mouse, joystick, touch screen, light pen, and stylus. Almost every personal computer has a tool attached to it that is called a mouse. It is about the same size as a real mouse, and it has a wire or cable attached to the back of it. On the screen, there is a special icon called a mouse pointer or cursor. A mouse can have one, two, or more buttons which are used to select options and to control the mouse pointer. Some mice have a wheel button that can be rotated to scroll through information displayed on the screen. The movement of the mouse is translated into signals that tell the computer how to move the on-screen pointer. The direction in which it moves controls the direction the pointer moves on the screen. The arrow mouse pointer is the one you'll see most often, but it can appear as other icons depending on the area of the screen the pointer is in and the task being done. Here, you can see the different forms of the mouse pointer. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learnt about what is meant by a mouse, the different mouse pointers. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to know the techniques of using a mouse. You need to know 5 techniques to use a mouse. First, pointing. This means moving the mouse pointer from its current position on the screen to the object of interest on the screen. For example, pointing to a hyperlink on a web page. Second, clicking. This means pressing and releasing of the left mouse button. Clicking indicates selection of an object. For example, when the mouse pointer is pointing a hyperlink on a web page and you click on it, you are taken to the new page indicated. Double clicking. This means clicking the left button of the mouse fast twice in succession. For example, if you want to open a Word document that is available on the desktop, you point the mouse pointer on it and double click to open it. Dragging. This is normally referred to as drag and drop. Dragging means moving the mouse pointer on an object, pressing or holding the left mouse button down and then moving the mouse pointer. The release of the mouse button after moving the object to a specific location is called dropping. For example, you may use this method to copy or move documents from one location to another. Right clicking. This means clicking the right button of the mouse. Usually, it is used to display a shortcut drop-down menu or context menu. For example, when you are on the desktop, right-clicking displays a menu for performing various operations such as setting desktop properties. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned the techniques of using a mouse. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to know the types of mice. What is a mouse pad? The ways in which a mouse can be connected. There are several different mouse types. Some of the basic designs are as follows. Mechanical. This is a rubber or metal ball on its underside that can roll in all directions. Mechanical sensors within the mouse detect the direction the ball is rolling and move the screen pointer accordingly. It is attached with a cord to the system unit. Optomechanical. This is the same as a mechanical mouse, but uses optical sensors to detect the motion of the ball. This uses a laser to detect the mouse's movement. It responds more quickly and precisely than mechanical and optomechanical mice, but is also more expensive. Cordless or wireless. This mouse is a battery-powered cordless device that uses radio waves or infrared light waves to communicate with the system unit. Mousepad. The mousepad is the most popular mouse accessory available and is used with most mice. It provides a smooth surface for the mouse to move across. Most optical mice do not require a mousepad, as they are designed to be used on any flat surface. A mousepad is sometimes required when using optomechanical mice, because the ball requires the extra friction of the mousepad to roll smoothly. Connecting the mouse. You may connect your mouse to your computer in one of the following ways. Serial mice connect directly to a serial port or a PS2 port. This is the simplest type of connection. PS2 mice connect to a PS2 port. USB mice connect to a USB port. Cordless mice are not physically connected. They use infrared or radio waves to communicate with the computer. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned about the types of mice, what is a mouse pad, ways to connect a mouse. Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the labels to the appropriate pictures. Congratulations! Hi, in this assessment frame, connect the mouse and pen drive to its CPU. Congratulations! Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the labels to the appropriate description. Congratulations! Objective. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to know different pointing devices. There are many pointing devices other than the mouse. We shall see some of the forms in which they are available. Foot mouse. A foot mouse is completely foot-operated pointing device, usually consisting of two pads. Mouse keypad. A mouse keypad is a small keypad module with keys to control cursor movement. Light pen. A light pen is an input device that utilizes a light-sensitive detector to select objects on a display screen. A light pen is similar to a mouse, except that with a light pen, the pointer can be moved and objects can be selected on the display screen by directly pointing to them with the pen. For example, light pens are used to edit digital images and drawings. Stylus. A stylus is a pen-like device commonly used with tablet PCs and PDAs. It uses pressure to draw images on the screen. A stylus interacts with the computer through handwriting recognition software. Joystick. A joystick is the most popular input device for computer games. Game actions are controlled by varying the pressure, speed, and direction of the joystick. Additional controls such as buttons and triggers are also used for specific actions. Touchpad. Touchpads allow for mouse movement simply by dragging a fingertip across the surface. Tapping on the pad or buttons provides the same function as a mouse click for icon selection. Trackball. Essentially, a trackball is a mouse lying on its back. To move the pointer, the ball is rotated with the thumb, fingers, or the palm of the hand. There are usually 1 to 3 buttons next to the ball, which are used just like mouse buttons. Touch screens. A touch screen is a spatial monitor that lets the user make choices by touching icons or graphical buttons on the screen. Touch screens are commonly used at restaurants, automated teller machines, ATMs, and information centers. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned about pointing devices. Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the labels to the appropriate pictures. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this lab, you will be able to understand different keyboard layouts, the use of the different keys on the keyboard, how to use keyboard shortcuts, how the keyboard works. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand what is meant by a keyboard, types of keyboards, keyboard layouts, and in-script keyboard. The keyboard is the main input device used by all computers. Much like typewriters, the keyboard has all the letters of the alphabet, numbers 0 to 9, and additional special operational keys. Keyboards convert letters, numbers, and special characters that people understand into electrical signals. These signals are sent to and processed by the system unit. Types of keyboards. There are a wide variety of keyboard designs. The most common types are as follows. Traditional keyboards. These are full-sized, rigid, rectangular keyboards which have the regular keys. Flexible keyboards. These keyboards can be folded or rolled up for easy packing and storage. Ergonomic keyboards. These keyboards are specially designed to minimize muscle strain and related problems. The shape is slightly different from a traditional keyboard and a palm rest is provided. Wireless keyboards. These keyboards transmit input to the system unit through the air. They provide greater flexibility and convenience because they do not have connecting wires. Bda keyboards. These are miniature keyboards for PDAs, a type of handheld computer, and can be used for functions such as sending email and creating documents. Keyboard layout. The keyboard layout is the physical arrangement of the keys on a computer keyboard. The two most commonly used keyboard layouts used today are the QWERTY and Dvorak. Inscript keyboard. You may enter input in an Indian language using the Inscript keyboard overlay. This was standardized by the Department of Electronics (DOE) in 1986. The Inscript overlay can be used on any QWERTY keyboard. The Indian script legends should be shown on the right-hand side of a key, as the left-hand side has the English legends. The Inscript overlay gets selected when the caps lock is on. Otherwise, the normal lowercase English overlay gets selected. You may use the Alt plus Space keys to toggle the caps lock functionality between the normal one for typing capital letters and the new one for selecting the required overlay. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learnt what is meant by a keyboard, types of keyboards, keyboard layouts, and Inscript keyboard. Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the labels to the appropriate key set. Congratulations! labels to the appropriate pictures. Congratulations! Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand the use of the different keys on the keyboard. The different keys on the keyboard are used to enter data into your computer system. Let us take a look at the different keys on your QWERTY keyboard with reference to the Windows Vista operating system. The key to the extreme left of the top row is the escape key. This key has numerous uses, all of which relate to escaping from a program or situation. The use of the key depends on the program being used and varies in individual programs. On the top right-hand side of the keyboard are three keys marked Print Screen, Scroll Lock and Pause Break that are rarely used by beginners. Some programs like Windows use the Alt plus Print Screen keys to obtain screen captures. In some operating systems, the scroll lock key is used to pause screen output. The pause break key is usually used to change the interaction with the computer, such as switching between multiple login sessions, terminating a program, or interrupting a modem connection. Along the top of the keyboard is a row of F keys. Like the escape key, each of these keys have certain functions that vary with different programs. For example, in MS Word, the F7 key opens up the spell checker. In the same program, the F12 key saves an open document. It is almost universal in computer programs for the F1 key to be used to open a help menu. In addition to individual functions, the F keys are used frequently in conjunction with other keys. For example, the Shift key, the Control key, and the Alt key are frequently used in conjunction with the F keys or other lettered keys. In MS Word, the F7 key, used normally for the spell checker, when used with the Shift key, opens up a thesaurus function. The keys along the top of the main keyboard have two uses. For example, the key with number 4 on it also has a $sign on it. To type the $sign, you hold down the Shift key and hit the number 4 key. The Shift key is used to type all the symbols on the upper part of each key. caps lock key, when pressed down, makes every letter print as uppercase. Pressing down the caps lock a second time returns the key to its normal function. Such keys that alternate between two modes of operation are called as toggle keys. The spacebar, the long key in the lower center of the keyboard, is used to put spaces between words and sentences. The tab key is used to push the typing along the line in specified distances. For example, if you wish to indent the first line of every paragraph, then it is wise to use the tab key. It is unwise to use the space bar for this purpose because you may miscount the spaces, and secondly, the space bar does not give an even or regular distance from the margin, thus making your document look untidy and uneven. The Enter key is one of the most important keys on the board. In a word processor, it makes another line when you hit it, but it has other functions. It has the function of executing or doing a command in the same way a mouse click does. Slightly to the right of the keyboard and below the print screen group is a cluster of 6 spatial keys. The insert key in this group serves to insert keystrokes. The existing words are pushed along in front of the new text entered. Pressing the key once again results in the replace mode. Now, new letters are printed over the old letters. The delete key located below the insert key deletes any selected text, or, if none is selected, the next letter to the right of the cursor. The backspace key to the left of the insert key deletes characters to the left of the cursor. The home key takes you to the beginning of a line in a word processor, and when used with the control key, results in the cursor going to the beginning of a document. The End key, which is directly below the Home key, sends the cursor to the end of a line, or, if used with the Control key, to the end of a document. The page up and page down keys moves the screen up or down one screen page. The arrow keys, just below the special keys, move the cursor in the direction of the arrow. When used in conjunction with the Control or Shift key, they perform different functions again. For example, if you hold down the Control key and press the arrow pointing to the right, then the cursor jumps one whole word. Without the Control key, the cursor moves one character at a time. To the extreme right of the keyboard is a cluster of keys known as the Numeric Pad. The keys are designed to function as small calculator. The key on the top left hand, the num lock, when pressed, turns off the numeric pad and allows it to perform in much the same way as the special keys. The small light that lights up just to the top of the numeric pad indicates whether the pad is on or off. On either side of the spacebar, outside the Alt key, is a key with the Windows logo. Pressing this key displays the Start menu. Holding the Windows key down and pressing another key initiates other actions. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned about the functions of the keys on the keyboard. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand what is meant by keyboard shortcuts, how keyboard shortcuts are used, A keyboard shortcut is a key or combination of keys that executes a specific function or command within an application or operating system. You have seen how keys such as the function keys and the Shift, Alt and Control keys in conjunction with other keys are used to execute various operations. As you study various Windows applications, you'll appreciate the utility of using shortcut keys. Similarly, the Windows key in conjunction with other keys can be used to perform various functions. When you study the Windows Vista operating system in details, you'll learn to use the shortcuts associated with the Windows key. Summary. You have reached the end of the assignment. You have learned about using keyboard shortcuts. Objectives. At the end of this assignment, you will be able to understand how the keyboard works. The keyboard controller is the circuit that controls the keyboard. When you press a key on the keyboard controller detects the keystroke. The controller places a scan code in the keyboard buffer, indicating which key is pressed. The keyboard sends the computer an interrupt request, telling the CPU to accept the keystroke. have reached the end of the assignment. You have learnt about how the keyboard works. Hi, in this assessment frame, drag the key to the appropriate places to assemble the keyboard. Congratulations! Hi, in this assessment frame, arrange the statements in the order of its sequence. Congratulations!